Hello people, I'm Ginny Metheral, I'm a fourth generation witch. Well, happy new year to all of you. We are finally at my ever popular Almanac series for January 2025. And this shows you what witchcraft you can do on which day, when and why for this month of January. Now, of course, it's January 2025. We are at the start of a new calendar year. We witches celebrated our new year at the beginning of November, and so we are currently just in the depths of winter. I mean, it's a bit cold and dark at the moment. It gets dark here at about 3:30, which is when I'm filming this at the moment, and it's a bit drear out there. However, we are on the brighter half of the winter solstice. The sun is growing in intensity, and we're facing those beautiful months ahead. There is plenty to celebrate during this month. And so, as always with these videos, I'm going to give you an overview of what witchcraft trends happen throughout the month of January. And then we'll look at the day-to-day detail of what witchcraft you can do on which day and why. So, with that said, let's start with our overview. The month of January is named after the Roman deity Janus, who is a god of beginnings and endings. He is therefore depicted as looking both forwards and having a face looking backwards at the same time. But the word Janus specifically refers to a gateway, and it's where we get our English word janitor from, the keeper of the gate. Now, this is because January is a gateway into the new calendar year. So throughout this month, it's a great month to start anything. You should have finished off all your tasks and chores and plans in the end of the last year, because these gateway months, and there's a couple of them throughout the year, really need to be the start of new things. Hence why we have New Year's resolutions, which we did in the December Coven. I showed the Coven how to ensure that your New Year resolutions come true, and great it was too. The year 2025 itself marks the year of the moon, because this is the year where the moon comes to its major lunar standstill. The moon has an 18.5-year cycle as it orbits the Earth, and this year marks its height, so it will be at its greatest and lowest extremes throughout this year. This can be seen in all the stone circles pretty much in the UK. I think almost every stone circle has some alignment with the moon and the heavens, and this would enable people of our old age not just to study the moon and its tracks across the Earth, but also to look at any future eclipses that were happening. What this means is that in the northern latitude, when it is at its highest, it will be almost directly overhead. And when the moon is at its lowest in the months of June, it will barely be skimming the horizon and looking huge and beautiful. This gives us great lunar energy to work with throughout this year. So not just January, this is something for the whole year. And so this year, do make one of your resolutions to use the moon in your witchcraft more. January is the height of the Wassailing season, and wassails is basically where you go out and you bless your orchards in whatever way your tradition tells you. There are many organised wassail ceremonies going on around here. Thatcher's Cider, I think, does a great one up in Somerset at the pub that they own, and I quite like to go to that actually. It sounds quite fun. It's only about 20 quid, I think, and you get a 2-course meal with it. Wassailing is simply blessing the orchard, as I said, and I was looking through an old book the other day, and it had a wassailing ceremony which was described in the Illustrated London News in 1757, and here is what they said. A lantern-lit procession carries a bowl of wassail out of the house to the best fruit tree in the orchard. Everyone stands round the tree and sings the wassail song, and there's a variety of wassail songs. It's got one here. As here's to thee, old apple tree, whence thou may bud, and whence thou may blow, and whence thou may bear apples enow. Hast full, caps full, bushel, sacks full, and my pockets are full too. Huzzah! Anyway, so they'd sing something along those lines, and then everyone takes a draught of the wassail from the wassail bowl, which is normally a 2-handled cup, and the rest of it is thrown upon the tree. Now, in this neck of the woods, we like to make a lot of noise to scare away evil spirits and wake up the spirits of the orchard, which involves people using their guns to blast through the trees. So it's quite redneck, I think. However, each wassailing ceremony does have its own individual customs. Sometimes there's a wassail king and a queen, and sometimes there's just a lot of cider. However, it is good fun, and January is the height of the wassail season. There is plenty of animal life in January, and one of my favourites, which I think is worth mentioning, is that it's at January then the humpback whales, on their huge migratory cycle, pass near to the shores of the UK. And during this time, they'll be singing that wonderful song. And I love the thought that the UK is currently surrounded by whales singing at us. And that vibrational joy and energy is lapped up by this country. We're so lucky. In America, of course, you've got wolves yowling at their height because this is the wolf moon season. I've always thought that the wolf's howls do the same for America as the humpback whales do for the UK. So that's my overview. Go out and wassail, listen out for the wolves, or if not wolves, at least listen out for foxes, because they are also yowling away. And pay attention to the moon, because this is its year. With that said, let's get into the nitty-gritty day-to-day detail. And of course, we're going to start with the 1st of January. Now, this is a day held with so many superstitions, and so much is happening. I have done previous videos on January, and you can have a look at that particular video about the 1st of January, because the rites don't really change. However, I did want to say that on the 1st of January this year, it is a spring tide in the UK. Now, this means that the tide is at its extreme levels over the course of the month, so it'll be at its lowest and its highest. This is incredibly auspicious for the 1st of January. Should you be anywhere near any tidal area on the 1st, go down at low tide and see what you can find at the very lowest point of that tide. Mudlarking, as it's known, will produce an awful lot of interesting objects, and should you find anything of interest, this is very auspicious for the coming year. I mean, if anything, going out on the 1st of January to the beach is probably very good for you anyway. Blow away the cobwebs of last year. Because it's the 1st of January, one of the things I will say is open your back door to let out the bad luck and open your front door to ensure the good luck comes in. And please don't take anything out of your house on the 1st. Only bring good things in. The hedgerows are bare on the 1st of January, and this is the ideal time to make something called a wishing cap, which is to go out and find hazel twigs from the hedgerow, to fashion it into a cap, and then put it on your head. And then you can wish for whatever you like, and this wish will come true. Now, wishing magic is very selfish. Only ever wish for yourself and your benefit. If you wish to have your wish definitely granted, you should be the first person from your household to go to the well, or the tap, and turn it on and get some water. And the first person to draw water for the house on New Year's Day will have their wish granted. The 1st of January also has a few vestiges of fire festivals because it is a fire season. With the winter solstice, we were lighting bonfires everywhere, and on the 1st, you will often find varying counties in the UK still celebrating. And one of the reasons we celebrate the new year with fireworks is obviously some sort of hangover from our pagan ancestors. The 2nd of January is a day to allay your health concerns, which means that you should just take care of yourself. It is said that those born on the 2nd of January are going to die a terrible death. Oh dear, sorry. The 3rd of January is when the quadrantid's meteor shower is at its peak. Now, meteor showers are great because they're shooting stars. And what do you do if you see a shooting star? Well, you wish on it. This is a particularly fine day to make a wish. And in fact, if you should take your hazel wishing cap, put it on your head, see a shooting star, and then wish on that, it will definitely come true. It is also the traditional day for the flowering of the Christmas rose. All of you who have planted Christmas roses would have done so by planting them outside of your front door, because this will keep the evil away. The 6th of Jan is the Holly King's Day in Bankside. Now, the Holly King's ascendancy is happening in January at the moment. He is really rising to the fore. He is in his youthful and wonderful stage, and he gets crowned during this month. The Holly King is one of those old pagan men of the sort of the green man, aren't they? They encompass all sorts of life and growth. It is also the day when you must put away your Christmas decorations. And this includes any solstice decorations that you've had up. Those lovely greenery, that wonderful holly. Take it and burn it, either on your own hearth, on a bonfire, or I think if you mulch it and put it in the compost, it will probably be just as fine. Burning your evergreens will also mean that any evil spirits cannot take up residence in them. The greenery that you've brought into your house will have taken on the joy and the energy from your home, and this is very attractive to all sorts of spirits, good and bad. So best to burn them just in case. The 11th of January is our day, the Witches' Day. Old-style traditional witches should be active this day, and you're supposed to stay indoors and bar them against those witches coming. However, you will find them sweeping out their halves, doing a bit of cleaning and preparing for spring, which is obviously coming up on the 1st of February. So the 11th of January is really the start of the witches' preparations for this coming Sabbath. The 13th of January is the night of the full moon. This first full moon of the year is incredibly important. Try and look at the moon for the first time when you see it, not through glass, because glass will dilute the energy of this moon. It's known as a cold moon, a wolf moon, or moon after Yule, and it is a particularly auspicious moon. It's in Cancer, and Cancer is all about initiating feelings and actions. And so this is a great moon with which to feed your soul for the coming months. The 13th of January is also known as the coldest day of the year. So wrap up warm, get out your duvets and electric blankets, and make sure that your fire is full. The 13th of Jan is also Plough Monday. Plough Monday is the day when the agricultural year starts and people will go back to the fields. However, it's too cold to plough now, so what the people would do was drag their plough through the street and have people bless it by pouring libations upon it and throwing good stuff, beer, ale, cider, on it. It is the day also, traditionally, for when the corn dolly, that representation of the spirit of the corn, which has been kept in your house all winter, safe and sound, is taken out and taken back to the fields, ploughed into the land, to ensure that the corn dolly spirit rises again and creates a great harvest. The 16th of Jan is when Mars is at its height. It's also my birthday, and I've been trying to work out that with Mars in the ascendant on my birthday, I think it makes me very go-getting. So, happy birthday to me. Let me know if your birthday's on my birthday too, because we will be unstoppable on that day. The 21st of January is the day when the sun enters the house of Aquarius. Now, one of my favourite things to do, as always, is to read to you from the calendar of shepherds of 1604 what we think of the Aquarian male and female. So let's hear what they say. They're normally incredibly rude about people. So the man born under Aquarius shall be lonely and ireful. He shall have silver at 32 years old, and he shall win wherever he goes, or he shall be sore sick. I think that means that if he doesn't get what he wants, he shall be very cross. He shall have fear on the water, and afterwards will have very good fortune. And he shall go into diverse and strange countries, and he shall live to be 75 years. Oh, he sounds all right, doesn't he? Good for you, Aquarius man. Let's see what they say about the Aquarius woman. The woman shall be delicious and have many noises for her children. She shall be in great peril at 24 years old, and thereafter in felicity and happiness. She shall have damage by beasts with 4 feet, and she shall live to 77 years. That's very specific, isn't it? Yes, so, yeah, there we go. Tell me, are you Aquarius? Do you agree with this? Do you have many noises for your children as an Aquarius woman? I'm not quite sure what that means. Maybe she's just got lots of pet names for them. Let me know in the comments below. The 21st of Janus is also a great day for divination, and one of the classic and traditional ways to divine on this day is to place a holly twig underneath your pillow, and you will dream of the future. In the morning, make sure you get up and write it down immediately before you forget, but it should come true. Now, I love this one. On the 22nd of January, you should observe your legs, because legs are ruled by Aquarius. And these are the observations that you can make. If you have slender legs, you will be overly learned. If you have big calves, you're sluggish and rude. If you have nice calves, you're witty and honest. If you have big sinewed legs, you're libidinous and unashamed. And if you have large ankles, you're foolish. So, I've got quite large ankles. I don't think I'm particularly foolish. I'm a bit stupid. Actually, no, I am. Yes, I can be quite foolish. You're right, yes. Large ankles and foolishness, I would say, definitely do go together. The 25th of January is, according to the Scottish, Burns Night. You should drink whiskey and collect your haggis off the mountainside first, because they're slippery little suckers. It also is, according to the Romans, a dies Egyptian, meaning an Egyptian day or a gypsy day, and it is one of the unluckiest days of the year. Do not start any new projects on this day. It will not end well for you. It is particularly noted that you should not allow a physician to bloodlet you on this day, because you may well die. The 26th of January is the best day for a party. This is one of the finest party days of the year, and it will bring laughter to your home if you have a party today, and this will last for the rest of this calendar year. The 29th of January is the night of the new moon. The first new moon of the year is always very auspicious, and it's a great idea to show money to this new moon in order to have money for the rest of the year. So get your dollars out and flash them at that new moon slither. Astrologers believe that each new moon takes on the aspects of the sign that it appears in, and this particular new moon is in Aquarius. Now, Aquarius rules a lot of heart and intuition and actions. Aquarius invites us to draw down into our body of wisdom and to look at our great gifts and produce them for the joy of the world. So make your plans to really bring to the fore your best characteristics and best talents, and it'll work well on this day. Tradition states that you should also greet this new moon in the following manner. Go out into the countryside and stand astride a gate or a stile. Then, looking up at that slither of new moon, say, "All hail to the moon, all hail to thee," and you will have great luck for the coming year. It is also the time that you should do some more wishing, and if you put on your hazel cap of twigs, your wish will come true. The last of the winter fire festivals will be happening on the 28th of January with the Ap Heli R. And this is a fabulous fire festival. It's a Viking fire festival, taking the traditions from what they did at this time. And it happens on the Isle of Lewis. You know, one day I'm going to go to this festival because it just looks magnificent. It goes on all day and all night and ends with them burning a massive Viking ship out in the bay. I'd love to see it. This January is a great time for new beginnings, so why not come and join my Coven meetings? The January Coven meeting, which happens on the last Thursday of the month, will be the great time to start, because we're starting a new course for this Coven to make sure that everyone covers all the aspects that they really need to know to become the greatest witch. It is also fun. All you have to do is go to patreon.com/Ginny Metheral. And if you can't do the Coven, come and join me anyway, because there's a small tier there which really helps and supports me. But if you can't do any of that, I really would appreciate it if you could just like and subscribe. Subscribing keeps me going. It really does. Subscribe and I continue onwards. I will see you in my next video.